Hey guys, welcome to another Cigar Chat. I'm your host Rob from Robbie Raz Reviews. As always, got Logan on location today. Where are you at, Logan? You're still in the green room though. Somehow it's always green.
I know. I think it's the green banner, dude.
I don't know.
No, I'm live from the hoppin' metropolis of Lubbock, Texas.
Woo!
I know, fancy.
Yeah, that is fancy pants. Lubbock, Texas.
I know. Here for the Texas Tech game.
At the are you going to the game?
Yeah, my wife, her family, her dog, cousin, Meatloaf, all went to Texas Tech, so I'm forced to go. Unfortunately.
Are they big? Crabtree went to Texas Tech. Didn't he?
No, he went to Tech. They love Crabtree. I mean, dude, her dad has a shrine to whatever their coach's name was. Oh God.
It'll come to you later.
It'll come to me later. Anyways, not important.
So we've got today joining us Omar DeFrias of Fratello Cigars. Omar, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited, brother. I'm excited to be here. I would start literally jumping, fist bumping style, but I'm gonna keep it under control a little bit today. But I'm excited to be here, you guys. There you go, Logan. That's exactly what I wanted to do. No, but it's been great. Thank you guys for inviting me to have a little bit of conversation. Any day I can just talk cigars, smoke, hang out. I mean, can't believe I'm doing this for a living, but this is nice.
No, that's great. We appreciate you coming on. We were lucky enough to spend some time with Omar at IPCPR and get to know him a little bit, and so now we're going to talk a little bit more about his cigar, the Fratello Cigars specifically. I know we've got some giveaways, and I know we've got stuff going on in the store. I've been kind of out of it for the last week. I've been out fishing and not sleeping and not showering and all that great stuff. So I'm going to let Logan jump in and tell you guys a little bit about that.
You're going to let Logan announce the important stuff? I can't believe it. Oh, my gosh.
You should send me on vacation more often.
I know. I mean, whatever. I need you around, unfortunately. So got a couple of things going on tonight. First one, we'll be doing a giveaway here, so make sure you sign into Cigar Federation for your chance to win. In the chat room, I posted up a link, so fill out that form like usual so I can actually track it, so it's not a free-for-all. We're giving away a 2-stick Stampler and a Fratello shirt, and then another giveaway a little bit later with a Fratello shirt. In the store this week, we have a couple of things. First is a 3-count stick sampler from Fratello. It's going to be a Corona, Robusto, and Toro, 2350. Which, and I'll talk about this in a second, and also did something a little bit different. We have, since Fratello is new, we'll talk more about this, but launching at Drapers tomorrow. If you want to try it, get in with a 1-stick. We're selling single Coronas for $7.20 plus shipping. So yeah, and it was all, I set it all up. Can you believe it? I didn't screw it up too bad. So.
No, I can't believe it. Oh, of course I can. I've got nothing but faith.
Well,
no, as I was telling these guys offline, I was up fishing, it was out of pocket all week, and I had to drive 13 miles to get a cell phone signal. So Logan only got 1 phone call. My wife got 4, but Logan only got 1. So that shows you where you stand. Although you were the second person I called. Called my wife first. I called you before I called my mom.
That's a lot of love right there, guys.
That's man love. I love it.
That's bold.
That's bold, man.
Okay, so let's get started. So I'll confess, and I confessed this to Omar beforehand. I have not smoked a Fratello yet. I had a sample of the Corona with me, and I brought. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you saw some of the stuff that I brought. I brought some great cigars with me, and I was up 7,500 feet, and when I opened my Perfador, everything that was in the cello popped. All the wrappers popped. I don't know. I did something wrong. I don't know what it was, but it was just stuff that was in the cello, so I wasn't able to smoke it. So I know Logan has. Did we put a review up yet, Logan?
Rob, this ain't no rookie show, man. Of course I did.
I'm just gonna shut up. Go ahead.
No, I did. I actually put it up today. So do you want me? I can go through it right now. Or
read it to me because I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
I mean, it's eloquently written in Logan speak. So
I'm kidding. You don't have to read it to me, but
no, I'm not going to read it to you.
Go ahead.
I was also very busy this week with some work-related stuff. Potentially, company going private and stuff like that. So it was obviously very busy. But yeah, I still got to it. Posted it this morning. So, I smoked 2 of the Fratello Coronas that, Omar sent me. Really a couple things that came through for me is, first of all, I really like the band of the cigar. Like, I like the red band, and it's kind of weird. Like, you'd actually have to almost have it to see it, but the way it's wrapped, it looks like it's almost at a diagonal. But when you open it up, I thought it was beautiful. I got a picture in my review, and I'll put a link up in the chat room here in a second. But
no, he's showing. You got it right there. You know what it kind of reminds me of?
Oh, there we go.
You know those MC Escher drawings, like Crazy Stairs, where the stairs keep going up, but then they also go down at the same time? Yeah.
Like Salvador Dali?
Like Salvador Dali.
Retro.
Yeah, you guys do it. You know what? Anyway, whatever. That's what it reminded me of. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, Logan doesn't know art, so we'll just put that in the box that I don't have skills in. So, first few puffs, blast of pepper, and like some black licorice notes. A very nice earthy spice, kind of mixed with licorice, is multi-dimensional. For me, everyone knows I like to smoke double hair chisels for breakfast, so it's kind of a mild medium body to me. It did kind of ramp up towards the end. There was a nice bit of kind of sweet creaminess on the retrohale and a little bit of that black pepper. I think the most unique thing about the cigar, and I actually reached out to Omar about this before, actually a couple of weeks ago, because I smoked a couple of cigars for the review, was that it's a Habano wrapped cigar, but it has the flavors of a Habano Rosado. And, I try not to look at the cigar before I review it just to see in it. And Omar and I talked kind of on Twitter, and maybe it'd be a question for you, Omar. And I know you kind of picked up the same notes and have been hearing the same thing. Was that something intentional or something unintentional that came out, of the blending process, or it just kind of occurred?
Totally unintentional. I mean, it definitely has some unique qualities. I mean, it's I can't put it all on the wrapper alone. I mean, I think the filler definitely brings in a little bit of those, rosado type flavors. A little bit of that spiciness, a little bit of that sweetness to it. I think that's something that definitely comes through is because of that filler that we use. That not a whole lot of companies are using. This is the Peruvian filler. That I think it makes it. I think you hit the nail on the head with it makes it unique. A lot of the comments that we've been getting back from a lot of our customers and a lot of our retailers, as far as the cigar is concerned, is that it doesn't taste like everything else in the humidor. It's been one of the biggest praises we have received, and I think it's something that we were absolutely thriving to do. One of the things that annoys me a lot about our industry is that everybody's, it's very unique. I was from the beginning for us, it wasn't so much. I wanted to hear the feedback from the people on the cigar, and that is definitely one of the biggest things we have been receiving about it. It truly is different, and so.
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely was different. I mean, it was an enjoyable cigar. I definitely smoke typically more things kind of full in body, but for something medium in body and flavor, I think it, had enough complexity, and it was unique and different enough to keep my attention, which most smokes in that category don't. So, I mean, for your first run, man, you did well. I mean, if everyone did as well as you did on your first smoke, then I think we'd have a lot better cigars in the industry. But, I mean, you did really, really well. So, Rob, unless you want me just to keep going.
One of the things, Logan and Rob, one of the things that we actually did that was also, I mean, obviously people don't know how much effort it takes to be able to blend a cigar and get it through they just think, you put a whole couple of leaves together,
right,
and something comes out, but it was gruesome. I mean, we're talking about putting in this particular filler, putting a little bit more ligero, put a little bit less ligero, pairing it up with this particular other one, and then see how it ages, see how it sits down for a little bit. We're talking 2.5 years. And it was obviously very exciting for me, because it was something, I mean, why wouldn't you enjoy getting into the factory and start blending and talking to the people and say, what about try this and try that and see how it goes with this and see how it goes with that. So it's very exciting, obviously, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's very time consuming. Well, So a lot of trips to Nicaragua and a lot of samples sent over my way, and we got to the point of where we're at right now. So complexity is a lot of one of the things that we've been hearing a lot from our retailers. We got into some serious accounts in at the show. A lot of people have been sending me messages like, oh, I heard you got into several shops in Virginia, several big shops in D.C., New York. We got into Nat Sherman in New York, which is pretty nice, and it's just been different. And so people have been connecting with it. So we're looking forward to a bright future, my friends.
Yeah, you guys, I'll jump in, and since you, Logan, if that's all right.
Yeah, you knock yourself out.
Omar, since you mentioned it, I mean, we've talked about this before with some people on the show, guys like yourself, who have either been blending for a long time or this is their first shot, their first cigar. It is a long process. I mean, it's the type of thing. I mean, you find you got to settle on a blend, you roll those up, and you got to wait 90 to 100 days before you can get an idea of what that flavor's like. So you keep doing that a few different times, before you know it, it's been a year and a half, 2 years. From that process for you, tell us what was the most difficult part. And then also tell us what was your favorite part, the most rewarding part.
Well, a lot of parts were difficult, but I don't think I can find anything that was really hard about the blending process more than it was hard to deal with our great government and the amount of painstaking evenings I had to endure and just we got to get this license versus this. That was out of the 2.5 years, if I would have spent those 2.5 years just working on the blend alone and not having to deal with licensing agreements, trademark problems, lawyers, and all these good things, I think it just would have been peachy. I mean, there's just no way that there's anything that could come out bad from that. I mean, outside from small little, it's like, well, what are we doing for the production and things like that? But that's more logistical than anything else. I mean, in the whole blending process, I mean, we were just looking at, what is my flavor profile? So that was very big coming in. What are the things that I like to smoke? And so obviously you sit down with the factory, you sit down with the company, and you say, hey, okay, this is what I'm looking for. This is one of the things that I'm looking to do. I want something that is complex, number one. I'm a big fan of Pinot Noir myself, and so I think Pinot is one of those grapes that is really a very complex. If you do it well, you get a whole bunch of flavors, you get a whole bunch of complexity and nuances on that particular type of grape. And so when we were blending this cigar, that was one of the main things. I needed this cigar to go from point A to point B to point C. I want this thing to shift, and I mean shift. We're talking, Vin Diesel type shifting. Okay, so it is something that was huge on my book, and I think we absolutely got there. The other part was flavor. Strength wasn't something that I absolutely. Although a lot of people are smoking a lot of very very full body, lots of head or lots of strength on their cigars. I'm not huge on strength. I'm huge on flavor and aroma. And so Logan hit it on the head. It's a lot of people have been talking about it's more of a medium body than a mild to medium, but it truly depends on everyone's palate. I mean, it's something that. For us, I feel it's more of a medium body cigar, and people that usually are more of a Series R Davidoff smoker think it's more of a medium to full. I mean, so it depends. Really depends on people's palates. But it was great. The most rewarding by far was when I got that last blend that we had worked on, and I got it at my house. I went to my deck, and it's the best smoke I have ever had in my life. I mean, it truly is. It's like you can't put a price on something that you've been working so hard, and you finally see the light. You finally see the last blend, and you put it in your mouth. You light it up. I light it up. I remember with my good friend Joe Scott, who now lives in Colorado. Big shout out to my boy. And we went at it. We were like, let's do it again. Let's see what you get. What do you think? It was 3 blends, and we were like, oh my gosh, everything is coming in together. We started even talking about. flavor profiles that nobody would have. Lead pencil. I mean, we're talking about things that are completely out of the world. So I think that was obviously the most rewarding. And when I said this is it, this is the blend number one was going to be it, and so we went into production and we did what we did. I mean, we could have easily, I got to tell you guys, launched last year, and maybe not at the show, but maybe do something. I had a couple of band projects and things like that, but it wasn't perfect. I'm not trying to be a perfectionist, but it wasn't right, and so. It needed to have every single little point to gearing up towards the IPCPR, which was ultimately my goal, to be able to have a nice splash at the IPCPR and then a formal launch in Washington D.C. And that's exactly what we did. I have no regrets whatsoever. I think we did a phenomenal job with reaching out to a lot of the consumers before, and obviously a lot of legwork. So we absolutely did that.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's funny. You know, that you said that there's nothing that was difficult except for dealing with all the red tape. That's the first time we've asked that question a few times. You're the first person to say that. I imagine everybody thinks it, but you're the first person to say it. So I appreciate your candor. No, so yeah, and you guys did you made a nice splash at IPCPR, and I got a sample of one of your cigars somehow. But I didn't get it from you, and it came from somewhere else. Were you in some of the packages that they gave away or something like that?
No. What we did is we sponsored one of the events at the IPCPR.
Okay.
Some of our friends at the IPCPR, reached out to us and say, hey, we're looking for a boutique company to come in and do, a nice giveaway, sponsoring one of the events, and we did. And I have to say, thanks to that, and thanks to our good people at the IPCPR who helped us out with that, we got some serious accounts from that. I mean, people had a chance to smoke the cigar prior to the event. Once you hit the event, I mean, there's nobody. You're not going to get anybody who's going to, I smoked it in the evening. That palate is completely ruined.
Yeah,
I mean, once you
that's true.
In the entire day, there's not going to be. So, you know what? I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon into this.
Yeah.
A little bit of, no, that's just not going to happen. And so it's just so we did get a big it was a great opportunity to be able to hand out the cigars during the show. I mean, during the event prior to the show, the FDA seminar. It was the first cigar for the day for a lot of those guys, and immediately that day, a lot of those guys said, "Dude, this is a great smoke. I want it in my shop." And there was something that connected, and then Logan said it best. It's the band. We truly did an unbelievable job with the band. I'm so proud. My man Freddie Hanna from the Dominican Republic created this beautiful band. It angles around the cigar, which no other band in this industry does. So it's got a 45-degree angle on it, and it says Fratello, which is basically brother in Italian. It's a nickname I acquired in college because I wanted to be a wise ass. Let me jump into that story a little bit, but I basically I was taking an Italian class, and I started calling people, "Hey, what's up, my fratello?" because it means brother in Italian. It's like, "What's up, my brother?" And so people all of a sudden started calling me my fratello. I was like, no, hold on, I'm calling you my fratello. And so it just spiraled out of control, and it was a disaster. And it just.
That's funny. You actually stole one of my questions. I was going to ask you about that, because I actually took Italian in college too. For some reason, I don't know why I did. I took it with a couple of my buddies. We didn't need a language requirement, but we took one.
Chicks.
You know what? That might have been it. And funny. One of the things I wasn't smoking cigars at the time, but the two guys that I had that class with, they were both smokers. And it was one of the long classes that you take at night, like a 3-hour class, and you're supposed to get that break in the middle. And our professor loved us, and I got like gift wrap C- in that class. I was horrible. But we would always want to go take a smoke break in the middle of class, and she would make us ask her in Italian, and that's the only thing I remember how to say, and I don't even think we were saying it right to begin with.
That's awesome.
We would always say "andiamo a fumare." That's the only thing I remember how to say, and I think that means we're gonna go smoke, but I don't know.
It does.
Oh, we got it right. And I remember some of the numbers, but that's it. That's funny, but now that you say that it's Fratello, that is that's Italian. That's
It's crazy. I'm getting a lot of heat from a lot of the guys. Like, dude, what's the deal, man? You were born in Puerto Rico, raised in the Dominican Republic. You're doing your cigar in Nicaragua, and your name is Italian. I mean, well, come on, get your shit right. And I'm like, hey, calm down.
You're worldwide. You're worldwide.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what it is.
Everyone's a citizen of Rome. Hey, all roads lead to Rome. That's what they used to say.
Is that it?
Hey, it's a cool spot, man. They're not wrong being Italian. It's a cool place.
Yeah.
The Italians, that's my people. Well, part of them anyway. Anyway, wait, so Logan, jump in. I know you got some stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, so a couple of questions. So obviously been, learning and reading up, getting familiar with your brand, Omar. On your homepage at, Fratello Cigar, notcigars.com, your intro message right under welcome. I want to definitely hear, because I feel like there's a little bit more to this story. So, conceptualized 20 years ago as kind of where you came up with the idea for Fratello Cigar. You can tell everyone about that, isn't on your website right now, kind of how, Fratello Cigar even became to be 20 years ago. Tell us about that story.
So I've been smoking cigars for a little over 20 years. I mean, one of the things that growing up next to a retail shop in the DR, I mean, you get all sorts of craziness happening. I mean, it was it was such an enigma for me. I mean, just to go by that store and see all this cars, this guys in suits, and you see them smoking. It's like, what is the deal? I'm like 15 years old, so it's immediately sparked my interest. I always wanted to go in. Since I lived basically right next door, the guys would come in. It's like, dude, you're like 15. You might be 6'4" and 250 pounds. Well, we don't care. Get the hell out of here. So it was hilarious. Obviously, trying to get into it's like, I want no cigar. It's like, dude, I know you live next door. Stop asking me. And so one day, the manager of the store, Rafael, brought me in and showed me. There was an event where a torcedor, or a cigar roller, was doing his art, and it was I was in love right then and there when I saw this guy put all these things together, doing the bunching process, putting the binder. I mean, it was putting the wrapper on it. I just was mesmerized, and I still remember the company that was doing it. It was an event hosted by Cigars. That was, and the guy that was giving the explanation, I was just drooling from one side. It's like, can I have one? And the guy literally just handed it over to me. He's like, now you're in the true gentleman's club, kid. And so I was like, my eyes were like this. I'm like 16 years old, 15 years old. The guy's like, here you go, brother. I mean, and so I kept that cigar for like 3 years. Amazing, because I didn't even know I needed to put it in a humidor and keep it humidified or anything at all. So the second best cigar, the first cigar, the best cigar I've ever had was that before I had the Fratello at my deck. But it was so amazing because I had graduated from high school, and I wanted to celebrate. I had this cigar sitting in my drawer for like 2.5 years before I literally opened it and basically capped the cap, put it in my mouth and smoked it in the Malecon, which is an area which is basically we border Santo Domingo borders to the Caribbean Sea, and I just smoked it there, and I was like, oh my God, I am in heaven. It was just it was crazy, but it was unbelievable. I mean, and obviously you hear the stories about what's the best cigar you've ever had, and it's and people tell you, it's like, well, it was a cigar, and usually you have to ask, where did you have that cigar? Did you had it while on vacation? Or you had it while you were enjoying, a beautiful moment with your beautiful, significant other? And it was something is usually around that cigar that if you had that same cigar in another particular situation, it's definitely not going to taste the same. And so it's usually around something like that. And obviously it was a graduation for me. It was a party going on. Everything was connecting, and so it was great, man. It truly was great.
It's very cool. And I felt like you've been talking to Jose Blanco, because he says the exact same thing about how an experience can either enhance or detract from a cigar. And if you're sitting next to an asshole, it's going to screw it all up. And I just remember that because Jose says the same thing. So
yeah,
He's a great mentor of mine. I've known Jose for a long time, and now it's I'm excited to see what his future holds. You know, he left Joya, Nicaragua, and so that'll be something exciting. And you know, he's got a lot of things going on for him. He just came from Shanghai, I think it was, and so
Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong. That's right.
So,
great mentor.
He's a very cool guy. I have a lot of respect for Jose. So, something I want to ask. So, for the people that aren't in the know, the Fratello comes in Corona, Robusto, Toro, and I'm going to butcher this name. I want to say like Temickle, but that's not right, is it? Temickle?
What the hell?
Love it. You can't listen. You can butcher my name. You can butcher. I mean, my last name is the free ass. A lot of people give me a hard time. It's Timakli. It's a hard name. You're like, yeah, you're gonna say that right?
There's a reason in all my emails I call you Omar.
That's right.
There's a reason. So, in all the Vitolas that you created, I mean, I don't know if you've ever played the game. You know, which one of these is not like the other. And I can see Corona, the Robusto, and the Toro. You know, it all makes sense. And then I see a 6x60, and you know, with the smoking the Fratello, obviously, like I said, a complex cigar, but it's very. I mean, I hate saying this, but like Cuban-esque, right? Like I can see where that influence is drawn from. But the 6x60, was that something for you to hit? A demographic, and I haven't smoked it. Does it smoke well in the 6x60? It just seems like it's a little bit off. I'm just curious where that kind of came from.
So here's the thing. Our baseline was the Corona size. I think the Corona is definitely my favorite size by far. It's got the most complexity. It's got that perfect ratio. It's a 5.5 by 46, and it's got that perfect ratio between our binder filler and our wrapper. So by far my number one. I'm usually a Corona smoker anyways. But I think, let me tell you something about the way that our blending went through and how much the filler plays a role at the larger ring gauges versus the smaller ring gauges. So the larger the ring gauge you go, the more filler you're going to get, more filler to binder ratio, because you're losing a little bit of the wrapper, obviously. And so it really kicks in. You really get it. You get a great smoking experience by doing the 6x60. I'm not a usual 60 ring gauge cigar smoker, because I think you need to have, again, I'm all about complexity, and you lose the complexity the larger the ring gauge you go, and you just get a lot of flavor. It was definitely a financial move and a business move, because it's one of our best sellers. I mean, it's crazy. It's flying out. Out of every single shop that we have, it's usually give me. Although our Corona has been doing amazing, but give me a lot of the Coronas and give me a lot of the 6x60, especially around this area. We've been getting a lot of that requests on the West Coast as well. I mean, it's a hit and miss. A lot of people. I got one store in Maryland that has 4 stores, and it's called Faders. And the Robusto and the Corona are flying off the shelf in Towson, but in Annapolis, but the 6x60 is not doing so well. But then the 6x60 is flying off the shelf in the other 2 stores that they have, and so it truly is. I mean, it depends on the location. Same company, same people, but different locations and different salespeople as well. Because my man Tony at Faders in Towson is a big fan of the Corona Robusto and the Corona. I mean the Fratello Robusto and the Fratello Corona, and so it has connected well with him, and so obviously that plays a part as well.
It's cool. No, and that makes sense. I mean, and I think that's an interesting part. I mean, I'm not on the manufacturing side, but I think it's an interesting play where, not saying we're the most educated top 1% of cigar smokers, but I'd like to think so. Or you typically gravitate towards a Corona, but business-wise, you gravitate towards something that marketing will sell. So yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. One question that I have is, I don't see a lot of Peruvian tobacco used, and tell us a little bit about that. Why you selected it? Because it seems like I hear a lot about Nicaragua, I hear a lot about the Dominican, hear a lot about Honduras, but never really Peruvian. Tell us a little bit about why that's selected. What does it add to the blend, and why you decided to go with it.
uniqueness. It's got this sweetness to it, cinnamonish type, cinnamon type qualities to it that I think it goes phenomenally well. Not a whole lot of companies are using it. You're totally right about that. Our factory down in Nicaragua definitely has a contract. Not a whole lot of companies have that type of contract with those companies that are providing Peruvian filler to tobacco companies. It is unique. I mean, it's amazing how much of an impact it plays on our cigar. If you put my cigar, and we did, with some Dominican filler, and replace that Dominican filler, that Peruvian filler, with the Dominican filler, it just changes dramatically. You got to take out the wrapper. They have on a wrapper. Play it a little bit with some San Andres wrapper, which went pretty well, and we did a little bit of that as well. But it is that Peruvian filler that really makes a cigar unique. I got to tell you, because a lot of companies, I mean, you can start going down the list of amount of companies that are using Habano Nicaraguan and Ecuadorian Sumatra. I mean, that two roll right there, maybe not a whole lot, because that also makes us a little bit unique. The fact that we're using it on Ecuadorian Sumatra binder with a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper, but it is that Peruvian filler that made the total difference. I mean, it provided the complexity that we needed. It provided that level of sweetness. Again, if you see a lot of the lines, I mean, Pepin does a great job with the pepper. I'm not so big on lots of pepper, lots of spices cigars. I want my cigar, although mine has a great pepper towards the beginning and nice pepper towards the end. It's not overwhelming. It will not like, wow, my God, it's too much pepper. A lot of people love it, but I'm not a big fan. And so it is that sweetness that I'm sure you got, and Rob, when you get a chance to smoke it, I look forward to getting your thoughts on it. Right towards the middle of the cigar, it becomes really smooth. It becomes really, really sweet. It becomes whole for me. It was, and we did that absolutely on purpose. I mean, the fact that we wanted to go from, some subtle pepper, some subtle spices towards the beginning, a little bit of earthiness, and bam, you get immediately something very smooth, very classy, very, very, and that's the Peruvian filler that really kicks in at that point.
Okay.
If you look about it, you're not supposed to blend a cigar anywhere past this point of the band. I mean, the blend of the cigar goes from the end of the band towards the end of the cigar. So from the beginning, from that middle part, in my case, obviously since it is twirled, it's a little hard to tell, but right probably towards the middle where the black line is, all the way down is where the blend actually is. The rest is just cigars. It's just the flavor of the Ligero and the flavor of the Peruvian, but the blend is not. It doesn't go anywhere past that. I love to smoke. If the cigar is good, I'll smoke it all the way to the end. A lot of people say, well, you should really smoke it all the way, probably towards where the blend of the cigar is done. But if the cigar is flavorful, I mean, it's got flavor, I'll smoke it to the point I cannot smoke it anymore.
Agreed. So, well, that's good. That's good insight, because, and if you're in the middle of my review, I mean, not to like toot my own horn or anything, but I kind of called that, with that sweet kind of unique creaminess to it, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It almost, and I know it's a different type of tobacco, but almost kind of like a Matafina type. But I mean, it was different, but in theory, kind of the same. Now, the question about the Peruvian filler is, do they grow it at Machu Picchu? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, well, that was more of a joke, but because it would be cool if they did.
I was there though. I was there. I was at Machu Picchu 2011. Yes.
Oh man, I want to go. I want to go so bad.
Yes, it is gorgeous. Not a whole lot of tobacco plants around the area though. 85.
Really? Where is it grown in Peru? I mean, because I know there's a lot of desert, there's a lot of mountains and highlands. Where is it grown?
I don't. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know. What I do know is the reason it's got such a unique flavor. Obviously, outside from the terrain itself, but it has to do with the clouds. I mean, if you've ever been in Peru, you will know that this is it's every time you go outside, Rob, it feels like you're literally, it's just gonna pound rain on you like crazy, but it never rains. never rains. It's amazing. It's the weirdest feeling in the world, because you literally come outside and like, oh my gosh, I should have brought out my umbrella here, and then immediately it's all the time. There's no sun, and so that obviously is a phenomenal combination for the soil, and obviously the fact that there's not a whole lot of soil, so the tobacco tends to be doesn't tend to be that heavy in nicotine, that heavy, just like the ligero leaves, obviously, because it gets so much sun. It tends to be much smoother, and so you'll get more of those qualities in the whole blend. When you blend the cigar, you get a lot of those qualities between the terroir and the fact that you don't have a whole lot of sun.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
Very cool. That is. So I'm going to ask one more question, then I'm going to pass it to Rob, or I'll just keep going, whatever. So I heard through the rumor mill that you used to once play basketball. Tell us a little bit about the basketball experience.
I did. I went to school in the Dominican Republic. I graduated, and I was offered a Division II college up in Phoenix, Arizona, Grand Canyon University, and I decided to go back home because I wanted to jump. I wanted to jump immediately to professional basketball. There's a great professional basketball team in the Dominican Republic offered me to come home and basically play with them. I played at my hometown as well for my university team, and so it was phenomenal. I was going to play for the national team as well. I injured my knee literally right before the tryouts. I was in. I mean, so you can see there's not a whole lot of Dominicans with 6'9" height and the level of weight that I can pack. so I was, and not to toot my own horn, but I thought I was pretty damn good as well. I got injured. I got a small operation that did not take care of the problem because I injured my right ligament. It was just completely torn. I did a whole lot of rehab, see if I could pull it off without that. I went to school in Rochester, New York, RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology. I tried out, made the team, and then boom, it happened again. And so it was just it for me. My number one, it was my passion at the time. I wanted to just play basketball for the rest of my life, and it was a big blow because obviously you make this. This is all you really want to do. And so obviously I changed my MBA dreams for a master's in business or an MBA. So it was a little rough, but ended up going. It ended up working fine. I still play from time to time, but I don't mess around too much with it, man, because I am not 20 years old anymore.
Man, I can't even imagine going through that twice.
Mm.
Did you
rough.
Oh, and you tore the ligament, you said?
Totally, completely torn. I did about 3-4 months of rehab, intensive rehab, to try to get it up to speed. Because I was in conversations with a lot of guys. I was in conversation with guys in Spain. There's a lot of leagues in Europe.
Europe,
pretty good. In conversations with Puerto Rico, Interamericana de Puerto Rico, they were interested in me going out and play with them as well as in college. So basically, I would transfer from the college in Dominican Republic to go to college in Spain or go to college in Puerto Rico. But my knee was just blown, and so I gave it a try. I went immediately to Rochester Institute of Technology. My whole intent in RIT was basically to just study, but I said, the hell with that. I want to play basketball. I want to see. There's a small Division III school, so I wanted to see that, and it was great. I mean, I sat down with the coach and we started playing, and it was just, my knee was just not going to take it, and so I would needed to do another operation. Usually in that time, it was just taking a full year to be able to recover from a ligament operation. And so that was it, man. I was like, nope. I'm going to change my MBA for an MBA and see how that one goes. And well, so I can't complain.
Yeah, it's your everything has a silver lining, I guess. So
Exactly.
it was a tough time, I'm sure, to go through, but I mean, now we're here talking about your cigar, so things have gone pretty well. Let's jump back in real quick. I know we've got a couple of giveaways. Let's get those taken care of right now. for everybody who's watching. So I'll pass this over to Logan to get those the giveaways done.
Give me 2 seconds here. Busy beaver.
Oh.
All right, give me 1 second.
I gotta tell you, I should have sent something out, but we weren't ready yet. It was we're launching tomorrow at Drapers in DC. It's one of the oldest and third oldest tobacconists in the United States of America. It's awesome to obviously be a part of that and part of that history. One of the things that we're launching tomorrow as well that has us really, really excited, it's got a lot of people excited on the industry as well, is we're launching our own personal blend of coffee.
Oh, really?
Cool. It's a Fratello Cigars coffee that we blended. My good friend Jay he's got 2 stores, two coffee shops in Baltimore, and it's a phenomenal. It is a phenomenal, and I'm not trying to play it down or anything at all. Play it up. It's just a phenomenal blend, and it's a blend of coffee from Nicaragua, coffee from Ethiopia, and coffee from Honduras. And it is unbelievable. It goes phenomenally well with our cigar. It doesn't overpower it too much. We had the master roaster for it. Her name is Sarah. It was unbelievable with the amazing job that she did in trying to get the profile from our cigars. She's also a cigar smoker, so that obviously played out great. So we sat down at a store in Faders, the first tobacco shop that actually supported us, and it was amazing how it just came all together. I mean, we did the whole blending process. We put out, to try to get the nice aroma from the coffee beans. It's a very, very, very high quality coffee beans that we used, and so we're going to be launching that tomorrow. So I'm really excited. I should have sent something out, but it was just the packaging wasn't ready, and so hopefully we'll have the packaging ready for tomorrow. So I should be really excited. So our retail shop should be excited because we're going to be sending some of that out to some of them that are big on tobacco and coffee, and so it's I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I don't know why more people don't do stuff like that. And it seems, although I've never thought of it, so maybe that's it, but it makes a ton of sense to like you say, you blend that coffee specifically for that cigar. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and you need to have the patience, man, for it as well. I mean, it's amazing.
Sure.
Obviously, it's just, I mean, think about it, just the blending of a cigar. I mean, we're talking about the exact same thing with coffee. It's just you play with these beans, put a little bit of 20% on that, put a little bit of 15% of this one, let's see how it goes, and then you just bring them together and let's have a drink. And then after that, and then obviously this definitely overcomes my knowledge, but then you have to let it sit for a little while, just like very similar to tobacco. You have to let it sit, and then it opens up a little more once it's already in the back. I mean, there's still so many nuances that I have to give a big shout out to the guys that don't know coffee, because it is amazing how it comes out, and it came out phenomenally well. So we're looking to launch that tomorrow. I have an interview with a local paper tomorrow in the morning as well, before our launch at 12 o'clock at Drapers, and it was phenomenal. And there's a lot of things coming down the pipe that we're looking to see, because the way we see it, guys, and this industry is all about a camaraderie, about the friendship, about the family, about sitting down with a couple of guys and just enjoying it, sitting down with you guys and enjoying myself, just talking about cigars and talking about what we do as a company. And so it makes total sense to be able to bring the total experience. People usually do it with some spirits. People do it with coffee. My man Lito does it with coffee all the time. I've sat down with him many times at his factory, and he's got some great coffee. Taste it with this, see how it goes. And so it is, I think people in the industry should absolutely do it a little more often. And obviously, as a more small boutique guys as well, and I'm sorry I'm taking so much of the time talking.
No.
But I think absolutely people should give this a try, because it is unbelievable. And as a small boutique, I'm trying to be a little different as well. How do we play into this whole role of guys coming in, big guys coming in with 10, 5, 15 new facings, new blends, and coming and flooding the market and doing this thing? How do we, as a small little guy, try to make a little bit of a difference? And we have gotten into some amazing stores. We truly have. I don't want to start mentioning them, because all of a sudden I start mentioning and say, oh, you forgot about me, so I'm not going to do that. But it is great, the connection that we have had as a company with the people that have supported us, and so we're really unbelievably excited about this.
No, that's great. Yeah, we'll look forward to the box of Fratello cigars, and then the box of the Fratello K-Cups You throw them in your Keurig, and they'll be good to go. So that's a great idea. That's
make some tea.
Just because you go to India and drink tea all the time doesn't mean everybody else does.
That tea will change your freaking life, bro. I can't pronounce the shit at all, but it's so good, man.
Is it Darjeeling?
Darjeeling, Assam, Earl Grey. Then there's like Kitioti or some shit. I don't know, but dude, it just changes your life, man.
Peyote isn't tea.
It's not like drugs, man. We're not out in the desert like in a sweatshop in a teepee like doing peyote, bro. It's something like that, though. It's something like that, though.
Hanging out with Jim Morrison. All right, let's do
Hanging out with Jim Morrison.
Let's do the giveaways.
Let's do it first. I'm just going to pick people and knock this out. All right. First winner is a Fratello shirt. Goes to, and I wish I had my thingies up, my sound effects, and I'm going to do it because I'm going to stop because I really want to play my sound effects. I've been on such a good behavior tonight. Like, I haven't done anything bad. I haven't played any sound effects. I've been so good.
Yeah, this is, Omar, this is a first, man. I mean,
I've been so clean.
No F-bombs from Logan.
I know. And the winner is, for Fratello shirt, Dave Nichols. Yay, Dave Nichols.
There it is. Let me show you what you want. Here you go.
That's a good-looking shirt.
It is a good-looking shirt. And you know what I like about it? Is I hate people who make white shirts because they just get dirty, and then they eventually become gross, and then you never can wear them. Black shirts are the way to go.
Or you could shower.
Or I can go natural and save the environment, bro.
That's what I've been doing.
Either way.
I am naturally ripe right now. You have no idea.
You probably smell like tuna fish or something.
Fish and orange power bait.
That's a deadly combination.
That's tough.
She's a good bass fisher. All right, and for the Fratello shirt and a 2-pack sampler, winner is, holy crap, I want to say that this might be the very first woman or sister of the tobacco leaf that we've ever had win. Miss 007. Congratulations.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I know. That's, I think, the first girl that's ever won. So congrats. Although I know you're pregnant and you can't smoke, but hey, whatever.
Now that they'll have something to smoke to celebrate.
Exactly.
And now, if it's a boy, they're going to name it Fratello.
That's it.
They should.
I wouldn't mind. I'm not gonna complain if they decide to name it Omar either. So
yeah,
go that route.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's funny.
So Omar, one thing I wanted to do, definitely, we've still got some time, but wanted to, thank you for your generous donation to, Project Manana and donating the box. And for those that don't know, I got to meet Omar briefly at IPCPR, but, it was very quick. It was in passing. It was a hello, kind of nice to meet you. And, I just really appreciate the donation and for, your support of that, And so we raised not quite $5,700. So, your donation was a big part of that, and we really appreciate the support, man.
Love it, guys. I appreciate that. I think it's a great charity. I wish a lot of more people would do a little bit more as far as start doing to promote your own charities. I certainly am active in a lot of charities around here in Washington D.C. metropolitan region. I'm a big supporter, obviously, of breast cancer research. My mother passed from breast cancer research, from breast cancer, and it's something that obviously every time I can and do a little bit, I do, and so it's I think I commend you guys for what you do, and I think it was great. I'm glad you guys got some cash to be able to give back a little bit, so that's great.
We did. It was, overwhelming response, and just, everyone always thinks I'm crazy because I come up with all these crazy thoughts and ideas. Everyone's like, oh, you'll get $2,500, you get $3,500, and I was like, if we get a penny less than $4,500, I'm gonna be pissed. And the support and the outreach, it was awesome. Except for I realized how bad this sucked because now I have to ship all this crap out. And oh my God, it's like the biggest task ever, man. And I'm on it. Like when people win stuff, I ship it out in like 2 days. I'm just overwhelmed. There's so much to ship out. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're going to be the guy who walks into the post office with a wheelbarrow full of boxes.
And I did. Like yesterday, I just took 6 packages, and I still got 25 more. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna hire you, buddy, because I think with the experience that you're gonna have, I mean, I think I could definitely use somebody to help me out, pack some stuff. I got 50,000 cigars here, so I mean, 50,000. So I could use some help, buddy.
Done, man. Hey, you know who's really good at it? Is my wife. Attention to detail, off the charts. You know, I'll end up sending the wrong package to the wrong place, but so
that's good to know.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. You know, and that's why we have a disclaimer. If you don't get your package, you don't get your package, or whatever. But,
that's our disclaimer? That's good. I didn't know that. If you don't get your package, you don't get your package. That's great.
Sorry.
I like that.
Hey, we do. Terms and conditions. Read them, baby. Bird seed. Legal bird seed, son. So, you know, Omar, on the coffee, you know, and I don't want to prod you. You obviously don't have to answer this question. But, you know, biggest thing in the market right now, you know, people are coming to market. Obviously, the coffee, you know, what you're doing with your cigar is obviously unique. But, you know, a question we have to ask is, you know, what's on the roadmap? I mean, what's the next thing coming out for you? Are we talking cigars? Are we talking, you know, pairing accessories? You know, if you can share anything, that would be great. If you can't, totally understand.
Well, I got to tell you guys. I mean, I think the cigar is so amazing that, and a lot of my retailers, I got to go with, you know, what is the sense that I'm getting from them? What is the sense that I'm getting from their customers? Or, you know, they've definitely been connecting, because we've already gotten a reorder from almost every single person that we've sold. We will open up over 35 new accounts at the show. We are up to 42 accounts right now, which is amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. I got to tell you guys, and obviously we can put a lot of thoughts on why this happened, and because it is an anomaly for a lot of us new guys coming into this industry, because they don't know you, they don't know who you are, they don't know you're here for a little bit of playing a little tobacco game, and then all of a sudden you go back to your real job and say, no, that really didn't work out. I'm into this this is going to be my lifestyle, you know, going forward. And one of the things that people did connect a lot was with the cigar and the branding that we had done behind it. I mean, we truly put in a lot of effort in trying to be a little different, try to be you know, have something new come out, something different, something that would be able to stand out at your at the shop. So I got a little bit of a banner so you guys can see it in the back, so you can see a little bit of, you know, what the band really truly looks like, and you get a sense. And so it's something that I'm trying to get a sense of where my retailers are at. I've gotten a lot of questions about, can you come out with a Lancero? And Lancero is really, it's a phenomenal. To me, it's so much flavor, it's so much complexity that you get from the Lancero because of that ratio from the wrapper to a filler. But it's a hard sell. I mean, it's and some shops are like, I would never be able to sell Lancero, and so I'm doing a little bit of measuring, see where people are at. A lot of people are approaching me about a Maduro potentially on our line, and so that's something that could be in the horizon as well. I'm giving you small little snippets here and there, but we'll see. I don't want to completely blow what we're trying to achieve, but I want to get a better measure. I want to see also how the line continues to do. We are pretty brand new. I mean, we've been in the market literally for 2 months, and so I want to make sure that we are smart and strategic going forward. Going to the next show, we're going to have 2 booths now in the next show, so, you know, show growth, show that we have done well, that we are here to stay, and continue to push Fratello as best as we can. You know, something potentially is a different size, so that could be, and maybe not so much a Fratello long stale or a I mean, it could be, you know, just a larger size. I mean, we could go so many different ways with this. We got the tobacco, we got the inventory, which is the number one thing, and so it's about how we start playing it out a little bit. So we'll see. I mean, don't be surprised if all of a sudden you start seeing a Fratello rum. So we'll take it one at a time, and we'll take.
Oh, my ears just.
You just got excited.
If you're hiring, you're adopting, you take me. I'm in.
Let's do it, brother. Let's do it.
So we can,
brother from California.
Yeah, there you go. So we can look forward to the Fratello limited edition Lancero that's coming out later this year, and then the Maduro's coming out next year, and then the rum. That's good. We got all kinds of breaking news tonight. Look at that.
Let's see how we go forward. Let's
I'm teasing.
Fratello first.
It's it's funny though. Everybody always does say that the Lancero is right there. Oh, we're gonna make a Lancero, make a Lancero. It's everybody loves them or they hate them. It's just the same thing with the 6x60s.
Yeah. Are in. I mean, larger ring gauges is amazing. I mean, there are companies that have done larger ring gauge cigars for one shop. I mean, but then it goes from that shop and it blows up, and then everybody wants it, and so it's such a hit and miss, and it's hard to measure where the industry is going as far as like the ring gauges. Again, I am such a fan of the Corona that is just there's no. I mean, I think it is by far my favorite size. A lot of people love the Lancero, but they don't usually go for it all the time, and so it is such a hit and miss in this industry that it's hard. I mean, sometimes a cigar, people love the cigar, it's flying off the shelf, and all of a sudden they're stale, and then all of a sudden it picks back up. I mean, and I talk to my retailers, and it's such an interesting dynamic that I don't think they even understand it as well, and so it's interesting.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing we talk about a lot around here as well. So we said we'd have you here for about an hour. We're creeping up on that. So Omar, just over the last few seconds here, let everybody know where they can find you: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff, so they can track you guys down.
Awesome. So Fratello Cigars, it's our Instagram, it's our Facebook, and it's our Twitter account. You can find us, and you can find us on the web as well. It's www. Although I hate saying that, but I have to. www.fratelloCigar.com. So you can find Fratello Cigar, no S at the end, and there's a listing of our retailers out in the web as well. We are in over 15 states right now. We're in New York, we're in Connecticut, New Hampshire, Virginia, D.C., Maryland. We're in Phoenix. We're in California. We just opened up a couple of accounts in Pennsylvania as well. A lot of stores in Pittsburgh. So the cigar has been doing great. The cigar has got the traction. It's got the branding behind it, and it's got me that I am on the road, brother. I am on the road.
I believe it. That's awesome. And we've also got some stuff available in the store. Logan, how long are those sales going on?
Forever.
Love it.
No, we're probably going to leave it up because I know there's a lot of people tonight that didn't get a chance to come. We'll probably leave it up till Sunday at midnight is what I said. Okay. So it'll be up till Sunday at midnight.
Cool. All right, so we've got the singles, and we've also got the sampler packs up there. So if you guys don't have a B&M that's near you that carries Fratello, you can always just go to the shop, CigarFederation.com, click on the store, and it'll take you right to it. Omar, we appreciate it, man. You guys, like you said, you've got a lot of steam headed in the right direction. Everything about the cigar. I mean, I see you guys every place. You're all online, lots of socials. So, and chatting with you was a lot of fun. I mean, you've got a great personality, so you've definitely got the kind of personality where you can connect with people on this. So, best of luck moving forward. We appreciate you taking the time. And hopefully, I'll see you out here in California, or we'll see you next year at the show, or we'll run into, or you can give us a call when you're going to you're going to launch that Lancero, and we'll talk about that.
Fantastic.
Or the tea.
Or the tea, yeah. And I want to try the coffee, too. We're going to have to make that happen.
That's right. The coffee is phenomenal. Guys, I want to thank you guys as well. I think that the job that you guys do for this industry is amazing. I mean, the way you guys not only highlight some of our big guys, but also you focus on the boutiques, and you focus on us little guys going forward, and trying to make it into this industry, very competitive industry, and how we are trying to make get our niche in and do our best effort to not only provide you and your humidor with a great smoke, but with an experience behind it. And that's what we're all about. We're totally about not only it's about the smoking experience, and that's what this company is about. That's what they're trying to push. That's what we're trying to present to our consumers and to our retailers. And so I look forward to a lot of people trying the cigar. I think it's phenomenal. Again, obviously I'm a little biased, so and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on Facebook and Twitter about the smoke and what connects with you and what doesn't. So I look forward to that. And Logan, thank you. Rob, thank you again for the support and for bringing us in.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you taking the time for sure. It was I had a lot of fun chatting with you. Um, Guys, thanks for all the support for the show. We appreciate you coming out every week. You can find me on Twitter at Robbie Raz. Instagram, Facebook's all the same. Logan is Logan at Dell Corporate Monkey on
Yep.
on Twitter. And do we have a show next week? You're the schedule guy.
We do. Black Label Trading Company, Thursday.
Okay. Next
Same
Thursday.
place.
Cool.
Correct.
Black Label Trading Company, another new one that we checked out at IPCPR. So it'll be exciting to talk about that. So again, guys, we appreciate it. Get into the store, buy some of those Fratellos, check them out, and I'm gonna have one of mine that I left at home and therefore did not explode in my travel humidor, and I'll get a review posted up next week. And I'm looking forward to it. The way you guys describe it, it sounds like medium body, full flavor, right in my wheelhouse. So I'm excited.
That's exactly what I said in my review. You and Catfish will probably
Pull it out.
Yeah.
freak out.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Guys, again, we appreciate it. It's, what is it, Thursday? Yeah, so have a good weekend. We'll catch you guys next week.
All right, guys.
All right,
Have a
guys.
great weekend. Thanks for coming. See you next week.